5th, Cinco de Mayo. I hope everybody had Mexican for dinner. If not, maybe you'll have it on the way home. And calling this meeting to order, and if you'll pray with me for the invocation. Most gracious Father, we just praise you and thank you for all your greatness, all your wonder, all the blessings that you bestow on Columbia County and the whole of greater Augusta area. Father, I pray that bless those who are out on the front lines today, our policemen, our sheriff's deputies, the firefighters, medical workers, Father, all the first responders. Thank you for all they do to keep us safe. I pray that you'd be with us now through this meeting. I pray that you would wisdom and guidance in that to be made. In Christ's name, amen. Stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance, flag, United States of America, republic for which it stands.
Let the record show we have a full quorum of commissioners. Commissioners, you have the minutes from our previous meeting, April 21st, in your packet. They meet with your approval. I'll accept a motion to do so.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. I believe the agenda is set, Mr. Johnson, with one potential tabling. Okay. We just want to welcome everyone to the meeting. Let's see, public, who do we have? Bob Willis and Don Skinner. Welcome to Publix. Glad you guys are here. Welcome. If any questions we can answer, please ask. Thank you for being here. Nothing on the consent agenda. We'll step straight into the debate agenda and go to Commissioner Allen.
Sir, thank you. I would like to make a motion to approve the change order number 7 for Lakeside Park for an extension of time in the amount of 49 days.
Second.
Mr. Schlochter, this is no money. This is just time.
That's correct, just time.
Questions?
Was this because of rain, weather?
Rain, and then you previously approved some change orders for rock excavation that added some time to the contract, but the money's already taken care of, so this was rain and rock time that was never added.
Questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. On to Commissioner Richardson.
Sir, I make a motion to award and approve the contract for Burnett Southern Corporation for the Marymount Stormwater Project in the amount of $1,750.
Second.
Doctor?
This is existing pipe work and ditch work that needs to be replaced. We had a work order out there and realized we need to do a lot of maintenance on that pipe, so it's best just.
Questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. The motion carries.
I make a motion to approve the easement abandonment for 706 Brody Lane.
Second.
In case we have a homeowner who's wanting to put a pool in their backyard, and we do have an existing easement in the backyard, and it does contain infrastructure that the county owns. However, as part of their construction, they will rework that infrastructure, eliminate some pipe, put a different weir box in. So staff's in agreement with this. Staff did make a recommendation. This is approved.
That couldn't affect anybody's way in it.
No, sir, it shouldn't. It's the same amount of water going in the pipe.
Any other questions? All in favor, raise your right hand.
Make a motion to approve the relocation agreement with Georgia Power for the Perry Road project in the amount of $1,140,900.
Second.
This is to relocate the existing power poles and power lines that are in conflict with the widening project. This is paid out of the project. We'll advance the money, but we will be reimbursed this entire.
Does this take care of the entire project, or will they be coming back for more later as they progress?
This is the entire project for the power poles. Let's do with lighting, so we might come back to you for some street lighting later, but this is getting the existing power poles out of the way.
How many more properties do we have?
Down to about 28 that we have left to actually get closed. Working through it hard. That's made a good run.
County Acquisition Department is on The acquisition department is working hard every day to make sure across the finish line.
You don't have to actually pay the other utilities. They're on the right of way at the discretion of the DOT. So when they move at their own expense. Power had prior rights, therefore you have to pay them to move.
Any other questions? All in favor, raise your right hand.
Make a motion to approve the supplemental Alfred Ganesh and Company in the amount of $67,600.64. Widening project.
Second.
Alfred Benesh, that's formerly Tool Engineering, who did the design for our Flow and Wells project. Phase one is wrapping up rapidly. We're from having phase one done. So ready to put it out on the streets. That'll be the actual widening of the road. Phase one was all the utility work, the storm water, sewer, get that stuff out of the way, getting the right. This budget was put together back in 2011, or 9 years later, getting close to later. Having to go back and trim some of the project to lower price. We're about $2 million over budget now. Sat down with over some ideas of how we could do that. Basically, Kyle and I sat down with them also. Basically, we're looking to eliminate some bike lanes and go with share the road option. It's such where the bike lanes will actually go road with no bike lanes there. They will go to road, no bike lanes there. So we're gonna go to a share the road feature. Have widening walking tracks, trails, excuse me, on the side of the road so the bikes can't actually use the multi-use trail. Eliminating, putting in some landscape islands, making sure islands in there. Washington Road improvements, where Flowing Wells ties into Washington Road. Currently, there's already turn lanes out there. We were going to do some additional turn lanes out there, but we're having to actually cut that.
Any other questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Carries.
Chairman, I'd like to motion to table this item until
Second.
No legal matters tonight.
None of that. I'm going to have one for you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to put one on there for you.
Talk about our COVID update. What's opening, what's closing?
Yes, sir. Just wanted to give the commission an update. As you know, the county reopened public this past Monday. Everything is going well. If you walk around the campus, you can see that we made a lot of arrangements to make sure that we are enforcing the social distancing piece. They're phasing in other openings, so other things that we're trying to open now. Our parks are open, but our athletic fields were still closed. We're actually made the decision to move forward with opening those in the morning at 8 a.m. We will also be opening, kind of temporarily opening the library. We'll be doing a curbside kind of pick up and drop off service, though. We're not going to allow people in the library yet. So again, that's kind of a phased in approach. Library staff worked really hard to come up with this plan and a way to be able to do this and disinfect the books and be able to get something online for the patrons to see. So we'll have that going as well. We'll be opening the skate park and the BMX park. Have to do our best to make sure that we're practicing social distancing out there. So it may take a little education for folks just to remember that we're still having to do that. But overall, I couldn't be more pleased with the way the staff has responded. Like I said, nearly all of our employees came back to work last week. When we came back on the 27th, I believe we had about 8 or 9 that weren't able to make it back for either sickness themselves or caring for a sick loved one. But the rest of our employees all came back enthusiastic and ready to go. And this week we hit the ground running, and seems like we've never been closed. So kudos to the staff for what they're doing, and I just want to give you that quick update on the things that are reopening. And as you know, Mr. Chairman, we'll be doing a Facebook Live this Friday, so we'll give further updates this Friday at 10 a.m.
And update, yes, and I know we talked about it when Tax Commissioner Bridges was in, filing for homestead, whatever. pushed back,
Delay
but
that we are with the,
I don't know that we came up with a date or whatever, and motor vehicle, maybe a date, and
Motor vehicle tags has been pushed back to June the 15th. So you don't have any penalties until June. The other date, I'm not exactly sure.
ad valorem tax was the 15th of July, was it not?
I believe it
that
was.
personal property tax returns had to be in by April 1st.
Right, but we
That's
pushed
an-
that to, I think, to July 15th.
We'll get a clarification on that.
Match too, because that's when, April 15th, tax day was moved to July 15th, I believe.
I do have one other thing that I wanted to add. I'm sorry, Commissioner.
Yeah.
Vice Chair, are you good?
That, I'm good, just, those are a
We'll
couple
make
of
sure,
questions.
we'll make sure we get the updates
Thank you.
out. There was one other thing that I wanted to give, and I make sure that again, give kudos to our staffs. But we asked our building inspectors to give us kind of a rundown of what they did during the shutdown, the days during the shutdown, when they were coming in, but everybody else was not working. And I'll tell you, it's absolutely amazing what they're able to do. In January, we did 1,508 inspections for residential, 208 for commercial. And in February, that number dropped down a little bit to 1,273. But in March, during the closure, we did 1,467 residential inspections and 170 commercial inspections. And in April, which was the entire closure, we did 1,835 residential inspections. That's with a skeleton crew of inspectors working some 12 and 14-hour days, and 165 commercial inspections. So I just so far for this year, just so you know, we've done 6,083 residential inspections and 699 commercial inspections. We've been closed for 6 weeks of that. I think that's testament again to how hard our staff worked during that closure.
But for that department also, just, there any, plan, all, did they get
Process.
bogged down, but we were still moving them forward?
We processed all of those. We processed, you know, one of the things that was moving through, now that it's public, we can discuss this, was the Amazon plan. And again, the staff got together and worked on that and fast-tracked that plan to get it through all the approvals that it needed. But every plan that was in here got the same kind of attention and got done. We issued a lot of building permits during that time, COs during that time. So for the most part, it's as if we were not even closed.
I'll add that data does not include the last week of April. Higher and don't miss no week of data.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's good.
Johnson, per our vote at the last meeting, we decided to give you the ability to work with department heads, division directors, to open parks and libraries and whatnot as you see fit. And it was for agility purposes, so that you could just handle it instead of waiting on the next meeting with us. Since then, I've gotten some communication, some emails, people concerned about that we have handed so much over to you, and I'm not concerned about the authority part of it, but I just want to make sure that we have not overburdened you with any kind of responsibility, that there is no issues with any of that. I've been telling people that you are perfectly capable of
I am
filling that
I am
without our
underburdened.
oversight.
I'm underburdened. You can continue to
We
send
can
things
fix
my
that.
way. I'll be glad.
I was going to
Say that
say,
in public. We-
careful with you.
I'll be glad to take care of it. No,
I'd like to rephrase.
I appreciate that. Just when you give me that authority is then just passed down to staff, and staff has done a great job of doing that. We're just working together every day. All of our executive leadership team is working together. So it's not just me. We're having meetings. We're looking at the latest data. We're following the state's guidelines. We're looking at all those things, and really that was again for expediency, just so we wouldn't have to wait to the next commission meeting for you all to approve it. And I'm in constant contact with all of you. You're all calling on a regular basis to get updates, so it's not like we don't communicate with each other. But it's working fine.
Good. I just want to make sure we haven't burdened anybody with that.
Thank you.
I do believe, and for the benefit of those candidates in the audience, there is a large segment of our population that does not understand that we are not in the office every day, 9 to 5, full-time commissioner. I think there's a large segment that thinks that this is our day job, so make that aware that Mr. Johnson does an amazing job of managing the day-to-day operations. And again, for agility's sake, when things need to get done, he has that authority, and he certainly has the ability, and he knows when he needs to call us, but we have full faith in him and his staff. So.
Thank you.
Just a quick follow-up to, sorry, I got a frog in my throat. Quick follow-up to the whole COVID thing. And the numbers as far as flattening the county, what now? Yeah, yeah, look back.
All
Got
over
it.
everything.
No, I don't have,
Don't lick your fingers. Or
yeah. I've already been there, done that.
Touch your face.
I got that Facebook picture.
Did it all.
No, as I look at the numbers, I think we did the right thing when we really shut the government operations down. Because what was it, 5 weeks? I lose track now. How many weeks?
A little over 5 weeks.
We shut it down and it really cut off the flow of people and services. But now that I see the curve, I mean, talking about flattening, we flattened it. And it's really going straight down. And the cases are small, and I just want to compliment staff and board as well as the citizens, because Columbia County is in a really good place right now with this. And I suspect that as we keep moving forward, even later this week, we'll hear more information, just how good it is in Columbia County. Thank you.
I know we have a very low ranking is it by the hundreds, by the
capita.
thousands?
We did it per capita, so
Yeah.
the state does it one way. We just actually did it per capita. Kind of compared us to all the rest of the counties in the region. And we were the lowest. Jefferson County was really close to us. I believe they're a little bit lower than we are now, but I mean, it's a very, very small amount as far as cases per capita. But I'm not sure of their recovery rate. You know, the chart that we did for the recovery rate, talking about flattening out the curve, that was due to staff finding the resources and being able to find credible information to be able to report that. That's nothing that the state provided us with. All those statistics and all that we've been able to put together is from data that we've been able to get from credible sources, and just put together, our staff has put that together to be able to give to you to make your decisions. So I think it works out better than just waiting on the state to give us something or make a decision for something that may not apply to Columbia County. For us, you know, I think we did the right thing. We responded well. Our closure coincides with the flattening of the curve, like the chairman mentioned, and we can see it going down. And people say, well, what if there's a spike? And, well, if there's a spike, we'll deal with that when the time comes. Meantime, we're headed in the right direction, and we've done the right thing.
Big time. Thank you. Other comments? Public comments or participation? Bob, Don? Not going to be here 9 to 5.
You can, but these ladies might,
Yeah.
People will call you 9 to 9, however,
yeah.
I promise you.
Well, we do have 3 executive session items, which I believe we can just hold in open court here. So who has those motions?
Mr. Richardson.
Make a motion to approve $25,450 to the estate of Richard Arthur Taylor, sole heir to Janie Lee Taylor by Wendell E. Johnston Jr. Parcel 7/16,000 to Derek and Courtney Pearson, parcel 95, $13,707 to William and Kimbra Casera, parcel 96, $1,800 to Gary Sullivan, parcel 26A, $5,000 to Roy and Elizabeth Norman, parcel 185 to obtain right-of-way and/or easements for 28 Pierce Ferry widening project.
Second?
Discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand.
I make a motion to approve $90,000 to D.B. and Ernie Blackburn, parcel 22, right-of-way and/or easements, road widening project.
Second.
Questions? All in favor, raise your right hand.
Make a motion to approve an additional amount of 15, Matty Hall, parcel 22, amount of $1,200 to Edward Mark Walter, Jr., parcel 59, to obtain right-of-way and/or easement for 28 Fewest Ferry widening project.
Second.
Why do we have to go additional?
Chris, handle this one.
So,
Hmm?
an issue where we had an option. Active 96-year-old. Broker. Everything along.
Y'all be so lucky, 96.
And something else.
Driver, on the documents in our packet, under amount of appraisals increased 3,100. How did you get from 3,100 to 32? Am I just comparing apples to oranges? Am I looking at the wrong?
Is it Mark Walter?
Yeah.
The second one, there were two, Edward Mark Walter Jr.
Oh, okay, okay. Never mind.
Any other questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Other reason we need to keep meeting?
Well, sir, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. That's my left hand.
You'll figure that out eventually.
Uh-huh.